guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foster Kyuujin cosplay, and today we are back at guys with The Lost Kingdom, episode 2 of season 4.
Yes, last episode we finally set our sight on Bebbanburg for good.
Finally!
They are pretty low right now. I mean, the uncle is trying to survive an attack from the Scots. It's not working. He's bullying his men. He's threatening them. I wouldn't be surprised if he got backstabbed this episode. So
just like in Scary Movie 2 with Brenda at the...
Yeah, at the theater.
At the theater,
basically. That would not surprise me. Like, he's really bad at ruling his people at the moment. So Uhtred had his guys, you know, learn about this, and he's like, oh, perfect opportunity. He did not get men from Edward, because Edward is listening to his father-in-law way too much, but that's for, you know, later. Instead, he's gonna have to sneak his way in, pretend to be a monk, and for the little excursion, he went and got his son.
Abducted him,
yeah, he did,
like they said, but...
He kidnapped him, and he wasn't happy about that. Like, they have a really tense relationship. There's the faith thing, like he was raised by the church, he sees his father as a, you know, a pagan and
priest
stuff.
killer.
Yeah, so he hates him, and there might also be a little, you know, you abandoned me, so I hate you, Dad. There's a bit of that, perhaps, but we'll see. Right now, he's gonna follow, and I'm actually happy about that, so that's good. Bioka is also with them, so hopefully no one dies, and we can get Bebbanburg, finally! Aside from that, I mean, the Vikings are trying to pretend that they're leaving, but they're actually gonna sneak their way to an attack, so that's happening. Aelfric is, again, on his, you know, power trip to become king, and we don't really believe it's gonna happen, but he's still a threat, and Aelfric is enjoying her relationship with Uhtred, even if it's in secret. Yeah.
Better than nothing.
That's basically what happened last episode.
Yeah.
So let's jump in this one, see what they have in store for us, and hopefully we can get Bebbanburg by the end of it. Let's go! Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when these episodes come out. Check out our Patreon for the full reactions. That's about it. Let's go!
Let's go.
Don't freak out your son. Just saying. I'm not that different from you Christians. Ah!
Rowan can be a vixen. This should settle her.
Rowan is pagan lies. I pity you for believing it.
Oh my
Give him
god.
something to do.
You could say the same thing about
Your god.
too.
But he's actually gonna try, again, like, demean him with his religion. But then they treat him like this, so...
In the plan you are hiding from me. Am I the bait?
Nothing is hidden from you. We are tracking monks who have entry to Bebbanburg. You will befriend them, enter Bebbanburg, and open the sea gate to us.
I think you have another reason for dragging me into your revenge.
Yes? So you may win honor and reputation.
The only reputation that matters is my standing with God.
So see, they did take him because of the plan.
My blood runs with our father.
Who do you pray for, boy?
The men you will slaughter. You seem to take things when you want them. When you do, show mercy.
To my uncle Aelfric, who spent a lifetime wishing me dead.
There is a power in forgiveness.
Good. Then you may use it to forgive me.
Woo! Turning the words around. That was
Can you
good.
do that?
It's gonna be difficult.
He continues to sign himself King of Mercia.
He's not even subtle about it.
Aelfric has always been ambitious.
Do you know where he's gone?
My husband doesn't inform me of anything. I know he is seeking the bones of St. Oswald.
Edward, that is grave. If he's seeking St. Oswald, he's seeking to break from Wessex.
Well, whatever it is he's doing, do not allow yourself to be drawn in. The weak should not be allowed to set terms. Leave childishness to the little children. Here he is, the future king of all the realm. See how nimble he is.
You should have seen the way he kicked Scarecrow to make his displeasure known.
A
Wow.
boy of many talents.
So he's basically a demon child
I want to
who
show you a book
basically
your
makes a
grandfather
fuss when he's not
Yes,
happy.
the boy with Latin. He is to be a king, not a clerk.
It should still
Men of
learn Latin,
Wessex
I
are
guess.
Fighters.
He needs to be good in
He
there
needs to be
too.
wise and just. Not to be a spoiled brat.
He digs away. That dwarf is precious.
Yes, it is troubling. as are my husband's intentions. I will ask Oldtown to make inquiries.
I mean, I don't like this, but at the same time, she made sure that those weddings worked. You know, she pushed for them, and now both of her kids
both
are.
of them were so wrong.
Father Biocca has left Winchester, lady.
Like you
Because
asked.
there was nothing left here for him.
And so our allies abandon us.
You pushed
You
him
pushed
away.
him
Asked
away.
for him to be removed.
Yes.
Assume your mistakes.
Yes, I did. Just as I asked for my son to be married to that vain and silly girl.
She may
Why the Lord
rise in my esteem a little bit,
The
eventually.
Lord didn't.
Any path I chose was to secure the country my husband loved.
Your God sent you Uhtred so many times, and you pushed him away.
If she comes around and finds out, you know, realizes her mistakes and starts doing good, I might end up liking her character. I'll give her a chance.
A redemption arc?
It's too late, but still. A redemption arc. By the way, like I read his name and I was wondering, did I ever tell you who the actor for Biocca was?
I don't recall.
Professor Pearl from Harry Potter.
What?
I never told you?
How?
Well, it's been a while.
Whoa.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Yes, please.
The slaver can get us trained men.
It's him.
He wants 10,000. 10,000 would empty.
Oh my gosh, he was so young.
Lord,
Uhtred, you see these two monks? They're the ones we've been searching for. They're leaving for Bebbanburg.
Yeah, he is called Uhtred.
it's our strongest chance.
So Uhtred the second.
He
Okay.
said young Uhtred. Yeah.
It's true, we joked about Uhtred, son of Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
Yeah.
Recognized.
So I am the sacrificial lamb.
You're our greatest hope. Do not do this for me. Do it for your descendants. Whatever I take will one day be yours.
I'm not the warrior you seem to mistake me for.
Aelswith wasn't either.
Do you
Look
have
at
the strength
him.
in me?
Because you're his son.
Because I know that the spirit of our family is within you.
Yeah.
It will give you a strength
Oh,
that
he's
you do
proud
not
of him.
know yet.
I will try and do as you need, but I will not kill a man.
He's not asking you to.
3 pieces of silver says it runs home.
I'm really worried about what they'll do to the monks.
I'm worried too.
Bless
Because he's growing desperate and, yeah. If he doesn't worry about threatening his own people,
You have no good reason to deny me.
I act simply for the good of your
how
soul.
about I don't want to?
You have a wife.
And that, yeah, that's definitely a good reason.
You are right. I should make myself a widower and marry you.
Oh, fuck.
Or is that not what you want? Along with all these silks and furs. Just a good life for a girl who has nothing.
I mean, maybe she doesn't want him to kill Aelfric, like she did make a face.
Arranged.
Yeah, but I have nothing against this girl, guys.
So far.
But if she's married to Aelfric, she's gonna suffer. I know that for
Yes.
sure.
Because, like, she's trying to stay close to him. Eventually, he's gonna get tired of this. If her plan is not to really reach for becoming his wife, she is playing a dangerous game.
Drag it out much longer, you'll lose interest.
How wrong you are. He's not losing interest. Fred is threatening to have Lady Aelfric killed so that he may marry me.
It's good news.
It is not. I have the blood of Alfred's daughter on my hands.
Seems like a fair exchange.
I've been married to a man who kills those who displease him.
Yeah, it seems like a
No,
fair...
he is volatile and we must
Okay.
be careful.
I kind of like her.
If he asks you to attack Lady Aelfric, you will refuse.
But if you're free, he's gonna stab
I will
you.
never defy the wishes of King Ethelred.
I'm not sure about him. He's too eager to get close to the king, to the Lord.
The one who preached himself king, yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever grow bored of the ugly bastard, you know I have fathered 10 children.
That is of no use to me.
No? Because you carry his pup.
Really? I hope so.
I can tell by
I
the
hope for
tits.
her, not for him.
If you tell him this before I fight the Saxons, I will cut off your balls and feed them to you.
I'm overjoyed for you, Breeder. The world needs more little Knuts.
I am really happy that she's finally pregnant and hopefully the baby survives. But I'm sad that it's his. After everything, like if she has the baby and then
She
learns
doesn't
that
know that he instigated the murder of Ragnar, right?
no.
They're not there.
In a Viking show, the good guys and the bad guys all raid, but you know when you're with the bad guys because they show you a lot more women and children getting killed.
Hello, Lord Aelfric. You'll want to see this.
His son?
I think.
The one who got
Isn't he dead?
banished?
I mean, I don't know.
He was supposed to be dead, right?
He's supposed to be dead. It's the only thing I can think of that
Yeah,
he
me
would
too.
recognize him. He does look a bit like him.
If it's his son, that's gonna cause a problem, guys.
Yeah.
Because now you got an heir.
Yeah, so what? You kill the heir. He does bring in men.
We heard you were drowned. We were assured. They said there was no hope.
I nearly did drown, Father.
He looks so much like him.
It was my punishment.
When I got word you were under attack, I seized the moment. I've brought warriors.
Oh
And then I've
no.
collected from every corner of the
And
known
we're not
world.
ready for that, so...
No, we're not. We barely got any men to attack Bebbanburg right now.
Shit! Shit!
Man!
We have not...
Did you jinx it again?
No. No. We don't have nearly enough men for this. And now that they have allies, it's gonna be harder to find people willing to betray the uncle.
Until it comes.
Unless the cousin is not back to health, I don't know.
Tell me, the young Kentish lady, Edwin, the girl who married your son in secret. Yes. What do you know of her present situation?
Is she trying to have the queen replaced?
Her marriage was forcibly, and she was forbidden from seeing the 2 children she bore your son. Her daughter she sees occasionally, but her son, she's not looked on since he was taken from her arms. Where is her son now? He lives in a monastery. So he has the love of God, but not that of a mother. An agony I would not want for my own son.
She's gonna send for him.
I would like to see them both.
Is she going on the redemption arc, guys?
I wonder... You can't, like, the marriage was annulled. She took, you know, her vows and stuff. It's over. So I don't know, you can't just redo something here.
Yeah,
But the kids are legitimate.
they're legitimate, and Edward has another son that she can teach him, you know?
It said first king of
Of
all
all
England.
England.
What? As in we're supposed to know history? So he becomes king.
Whoa!
That's just an entrance. Pretty strong entrance.
Come with me, Ethelstan.
I'm sorry, but the way they introduced him was just so epic in a way.
Thanks for the spoiler alert, guys.
The lady wants to meet you. Go to the garden.
So that means that somehow
He's gonna become king.
he becomes legitimate again. Like, he's legitimate, but since the marriage was annulled, I don't really know where he stands.
Well, it still is firstborn, so
yes. I don't know. Like, that was
Edward
just so...
can still legitimate him again, I guess.
Yes, yes.
right?
As king, he can do everything, basically. That's really nice of her. She's righting her wrongs. So I'm fine with that. And like I said, she's opening the door to redemption in my heart.
Redemption arc, guys. Redemption arc.
Again, it should have been sooner, but yeah. I've always understood the reasons why this wedding could not
I know
happen,
why.
but
I
it
know.
still sucks. At least she's making sure that, you know, the kid is gonna survive and he's gonna have a future.
Because
yeah, I mean-
apparently he's supposed to be the first king of all England.
Yeah. But that aside, the stepfather, the father-in-law, was literally saying he wanted to kill the kids.
Because there are
Threats to
Plausible
his
threats,
kid,
yeah.
As death.
Oh. It's gonna be... I hope they're good, because it's gonna be bad. Ah!
Which one do you want? That one.
All yours.
Last time we were here, though, I think there are men inside. So... Apparently they went to bed. Careful. Fuck.
Oh man.
We are family.
Oh no.
Do you really?
Oh
So far he's not saying anything.
My flock! I've got it now!
You, what is your mission?
He is crazy.
Must I kill another before I get the truth?
Dad, hurry up. I mean, I was wondering if he was gonna be a potential ally. Forget about it. He's too volatile.
Like his father.
This one's scheme. Who sent you? Of the Scots? The light with Ethelred? No recognition in his eyes. His face is familiar somehow.
Oh no, oh no. Oh, it's asking a lot of him.
Who are you?
I am Uhtred of Bebbanburg.
Overhearing someone else say it. Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Yeah. Grandson of
It
Uhtred.
is unwise to mock me.
No, he is.
Kill him.
No. No.
It's fine, we're coming, we're coming.
Yeah. Shit.
Come on, save your son.
Come on, Uhtred.
He did say he's Uhtred of Bebbanburg. I hope he doesn't die after
Shit.
this.
No. Uhtred, come on. Come on.
Silence!
Okay, we got the guy. We got our uncle. I was hearing him scream and I was like, I hope he's not dying.
Well done.
You almost had to kill someone.
You know who I am? I'm the true Lord of Bebbanburg, and I'm taking it back. I have no fight with you. I've come home.
Careful of your cousin.
Swear to me, and you will have my oath.
He's good at speeches. But you got the cousin.
Aiden, you remember me? What's your allegiance?
It's do or die. Come on. Be the man I know you
I
for.
am loyal to the true heir of Bebbanburg.
Yeah. Him.
Good.
Bear witness all.
No.
the true
No.
heir of Bebbanburg.
No. What does he have?
A crossbow.
No.
He has a crossbow, Damon.
Fuck off. Aiden is his name. Fuck off.
Hey, boy,
Be careful.
put down the bow.
You have lost everything. Husband.
I won't tell you again. Put down the bow.
Insult. He could shoot at someone else. Oh. He has. Yeah. Well, it was his shield. Interesting.
Yeah.
He basically gets
His father
Bebbanburg.
banished him.
He doesn't give a shit. But he gets Bebbanburg. And they are on his side. Oh, another!
So we got another enemy.
Shit! We need to run. And they are done. And that shit is dead though. I'm glad. Okay. Okay, this episode was
I am satisfied that Aelfric is dead.
Okay,
I'm not surprised that his son killed him because honestly, he banished him, right?
Yes. In the episode, I think I said it a couple times, and I was thinking it for sure. I was like, you know, maybe he came back and he's only pretending, because I was wondering, I did say, I wondered which what he was going to be, like an ally, potential ally, or was he going to be on his father's side. I said he banished him, yes, so obviously there was resentment there, so I'm not surprised here. There was a lot of epic moments in the end, and we were freaking out throughout all of it, so...
I was scared shitless for Uhtred's son.
Yes.
Little Uhtred.
Since we were freaking out over that, let me say this. When I was hearing him scream and stuff, for sure, I thought he was being hacked to death. And I was like, holy shit. Uhtred doesn't know, like, he's focusing on his uncle and stuff, and he doesn't know. Sorry. So I was like, maybe he's dying right now, because, I mean, that would have been an interesting moment if they don't have plans for him in the future. He said he was Uhtred of Bebbanburg, which is claiming his identity, you know, claiming his father's identity and everything his father gave him. So that was interesting. That was a nice little touch, but then he could have died right after that, which would have been really sad.
And I mean, if he had died right then, Uhtred would have been just only focusing on his revenge, on his uncle, to not pay attention to what was happening just beside him.
He wasn't seeing it.
No, he was hearing the screams.
I'm not sure he knew what was going on, honestly. But still, the fact that, you know, the son was put to the test, and, you know, you asked earlier, you know, why his father was taking him on this voyage, and Uhtred was saying, I'm seeing the man you'll become and stuff, and, you know, I trust that you have it in you, it's the blood I gave you, you know, you have it. And in this episode, he had it several times, like with the cunning, with the manipulation, with the use of information. And then he comes in and he gives that speech about Bebbanburg, which is interesting because he has no ties to the place, but he knows his father, you know, is obsessed with Bebbanburg. So there's a bit of that, you know, he brings that to his speech, then he gets in, and the way he's stressed, but he still manages, and in the end, he's about to die, and he rises to the challenge. He defended himself. So yeah, that's the blood Uhtred was talking about, and he pulled through. I was proud of him. I'm glad he's not dead,
I'm so glad that he's not dead.
I don't know how they're gonna survive this. Now, for the cousin, killing the father makes a lot of sense, because, like you said, he doesn't care for him, he doesn't love him or anything, and killing him...
So now he's the true lord. He's the lord of Bebbanburg right now.
I am pissed at that Aiden guy. I was like, if it wasn't for the cousin, perhaps he would have been on Uhtred's side, but you know who he is. You know, like... Well, it's just that you're saying that, okay, I think he's stuck to his loyalties, which is what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to follow the Lord of Bebbanburg, and no matter how it happened, it was a shitty thing the uncle did, but he still became Lord of Bebbanburg normally, you know.
He had a son who was technically supposed to be now the
heir,
Lord of Bebbanburg. You could also think that maybe he knows that, I forgot his name, but Aelfric's sons has way more men than Uhtred right now.
Definitely, there's that. So maybe he's intelligent because he's thinking of the future of Bebbanburg. There's the fact that if you've heard of Uhtred before, you know the rumors that he's a pagan. You know the rumors he's more Viking than Saxon at this point. You know, so do you want him to rule you? I think he was being loyal to Bebbanburg. It's just, it sucks because it's a matter of timing, and I think...
I know.
The cousin came back at the wrong time.
Wait a second. If Aiden is a man of Bebbanburg, a man for Bebbanburg, and he's thinking about the people of Bebbanburg...
Well, he's also thinking of the Scots coming back, perhaps.
Yeah, I know, but wouldn't it be more fair to be on Uhtred's side?
Why? The guy brings 2 ships full of warriors.
True.
And the current lord of Bebbanburg was his father. So, legally, the heir is the son. He needs to be loyal to the heir. It's just... It sucks because if you're not close to Uhtred, you can say legally you're no longer the heir.
Well, technically, not true, because the same thing happened with Aethelwald and his kinship, right?
Well,
his right to be king.
Legally, Aethelwald was no longer the heir. The only difference, and I'm saying legally, Uhtred is no longer the heir, but technically that's not true, because he's alive and he was not disowned by his father. He was rebaptized. He was given a different name, which, by the way, again, it sucks that the uncle keeps not saying it. He keeps, dismissing it because that's an insult.
Right of being the of Bebbanburg, yeah.
Exactly. And he's like, I mean, he's using that to basically say you have no claim and stuff, but technically, no, he was named the heir, he is the heir, and he's still alive, so I'll say the throne belongs to him. Aethelwald was disowned by his father. His father named Alfred king. So as soon as the crown was passed on to Alfred, his son became the heir.
So they would have been different if Alfred took the crown by force then, right?
Yes, it would have been different, because then people could have rallied. Like, I'm not saying Aethelwald was a good choice, but people could have literally fought Alfred about the crown. Not that people don't fight people over crowns, even if it's legal, but in this case, like, obviously some people, they have their loyalties to the uncle and now his son, so they believe that the switch in leadership was fine, and it's been like that for years, and he's no longer, like, Uhtred is no longer the heir. So for them, it's fine, it's their new life, and they moved on. But if you know Uhtred, if you're close to him, you know it's his birthright. You know it. Well, it's not his birthright, but it's his right, and he was robbed of it. Yeah, it was a tragedy what happened to him, and it was an injustice, and he deserves revenge. The uncle is dead. It's a bit sad we didn't get to do it ourselves, but at least he's dead. But now we have to deal with his son, and he seems better.
His son and his man.
Yeah, I don't know how we get out of this.
We don't really have the advantage right now.
Well, we'll probably have to run, which means, once again, we're losing Bebbanburg.
Bebbanburg, not right now.
Except that, now, I feel like now Bebbanburg is going to be an active player, and, the cousin is going to be present a little bit more, perhaps, because he seems to have
He seems more
ambition.
active than his father, yeah.
Yeah, and he's younger, he's been through some shit, like, there's a reason why I was saying he's ruthless and stuff in the episode. Like, it looks like he's seen some shit. Right? Yeah, and I mean, he's been traveling, so, and he's got many people with him from, I'm guessing, many different backgrounds, so who knows what he knows, but it's gonna be interesting. I mean, it's a plus for the father-son relationship. Perhaps if we survive this, it's gonna be great. Perhaps.
Right. I want to talk about Lady Aelswith and her first grandchild. And what we learned, because, come on, guys, that was a spoil right now. Aethelstan, first king of Old England.
I think, okay, they are expecting us to know a little bit about history, you know?
The only Aethelstan that I remember was the one that invented it in Viking.
Still. Yeah, but I think in Viking, I knew that there was a king named Aethelstan eventually.
Yeah, but I've seen the history of England, and I've seen a bunch of Aethelstan in there.
Just like I knew Edward was going to become king, because that's a thing I knew from history, that after Alfred was his son Edward. So it's not a spoiler. They're expecting us to know about history, which is why his introduction was so epic in a way. It was quiet, but it was like...
This is not my history. Okay?
Still...
Tell me the history of Frank, maybe, but England...
Still, there's no point, really, in introducing you to the kid and not tell you, like... It's gonna make you wonder, how does that happen?
Yeah. I know. It's a little spoil, but it's gonna bring... much more excitement for us to see. This kid's gonna become great and famous, so we must pay attention to him right now, right?
Well, he's gonna become great and famous. He's gonna become king, so there's that.
Great and famous.
And I mean, I am gonna say Aelswith has officially started rising a little bit in my esteem. She's made so many mistakes at this point. It's hard not, to go even further down. And it doesn't take much for her to go up a little bit. So, and I mean, most of what she's doing now is correcting her own mistakes. Because she's the one, like, Alfred was making the decisions too. But I think when it comes to marriage, he usually gave the choice to her. So she's the one responsible for the two terrible marriages her kids are going through. And because, I mean, we know about Aethelflaed, and apparently Edward doesn't like his wife at all. Like, he just doesn't want to. He doesn't care. And he's probably still in love with his first wife.
Well, from what we've seen, she seemed to be not a simple girl, but she likes the attention and
the queen, future queen.
Yeah, the future queen.
Well, now she's queen.
The attentions and the not the jewel, but the glory and the richness.
It's like
The
I felt like
riches.
I felt like she was enjoying the title way too much, considering it's supposed to be a responsibility and it's supposed to be a job you take on, not something you're flaunting around. I would say, like, but I'm not saying she's a bad person or she's gonna be a bad queen. It's just. It's like everyone is giving her everything. Like her father is doing all the work so she can get there, and
we've literally seen her being on a chair, being pampered by her ladies in waiting.
Well, yeah, but that's her right though. She is, she is queen.
That is narcissist
right.
Habits right now.
It is still her right.
Have you seen Aelswith being on her throne?
No, but she
pampered
was
by her ladies.
No, but she was different. She was from a different time. She was old. We saw her older, and she was all about, religion and pushing, the will of God and stuff like that. So her way of going at things is different. And that's also worrying because not the fact that she's more Christian and everything, but the way the grandfather seems to be handling the future king, his grandchild, by, saying that the sword is more important, by saying that, the way they describe the kid, like, oh, you should have seen him kick at Stiapa, when he was angry and stuff.
He seems to be a spoiled brat.
He's a brat. Yeah, he's spoiled and he's a brat. That's not what you want a future king to be like. You need to teach him, yes, the sword, that's real, strategy. You need him to read. You need him to know his religion. You need him to know his people. He's really young, true, but at that age, he could start learning how to read. He could start, learning anything he could get his hands on, honestly. Knowledge is really important if you're to become king. And the grandfather is pushing that completely to the side. His understanding of what a king is not what it should be.
It is a huge responsibility, being king. And you shouldn't take it lightly.
Well, no, I'm not saying like he's gonna prepare himself right away, but the grandfather is the one holding, pushing him and stuff, and seems to be pushing him towards, you don't need knowledge, you don't need to read Latin, you don't need all of that bullshit. So he's so different from what Alfred used to be. I'm worried about the path he's taken, and I'm worried that he's the one that Edward seems to listen to the most. Although this episode, he did say shut up to everyone because everyone wants to speak for him.
But he had problem with the pressure.
But that's because I said it before, like last episode, things were peaceful, and I was wondering how that was gonna change when war or more other stuff that was that needed attending to was gonna come to their door. Well, like that, he doesn't handle the pressure, and people, too many people want to control him because they think they know better. Which, it's fine to advise, but you have to have good intentions behind it, And I'm not saying that they all suck, but they all have personal reasons for being here.
Yeah.
Like, you've got Aethelflaed, who's focused on Mercia and her husband and what's going on over there, so she worries about that, obviously, so she's gonna push for that. You've got Aelswith, who's, pushing for Christianity, the way of God and stuff like that. And there's also the honor and the pride and the legacy of Alfred. And then there's the father-in-law who's got his own version of what he should do. And it's basically like they all want to rule in his place, and that would suck for him. But then you're the one that's allowing this to happen. You are listening too much. You need to. I'm not saying that what he did here is great, because it's like, you let the pressure get to him, but you should put your foot down, definitely. And it's fine to listen to your advisors, but you need to surround yourself with people that you want to listen to. And I'm saying Uhtred was a good choice, but you sent him away.
Who knows, he might come back.
Uhtred is a good choice because he, for all you said about, him wanting to be king, he's never wanted to be king of Wessex.
True.
So he's good because he does have personal, aspirations. Like he's got things he wants to do, but whenever he helps Wessex, it's truly to help Wessex. Because if Wessex loses and, he's there to help, he loses too, So it's about like victory. It's about what you need to do to have what you want, to get what you want. The others, they have aspirations. Like I said, his sister has her mind in Mercia. His mother thinks a certain way that I don't always agree with, and she's not a warrior, so she doesn't understand. And the father-in-law has his own ambitions. So yeah, basically you need counsel that is better than what you have right now.
You need true counsel, right?
He needs to be able to listen to his advisors, but also make his own decisions. He needs to think for himself and stop relying so much on others, because that's when you lose it. It's complicated to be king.
Good thing that we are not, right?
Yeah, it's not a role I would want to take. I like to write, whenever I write stories inspired by friends and stuff like that. I like
difficult choices to make.
When I write my character, whenever I put myself in a character, I like to put myself in a leadership role. But king in those days, I would not wish that on anyone.
You need to think about your people, about the future of your kingdom.
Yeah, but it's also politics.
Enemies.
Politics and sacrifices and it's not, it's a heavy burden. That's why I'm saying it's a responsibility, not something you should, use to flaunt around and stuff.
Like the prison queen right now?
Well, yeah.
But speaking about that, because we talked a little bit about Athelstan, and we switched it up to Edward and his wife and his father-in-law, but let's go back to Athelstan. Do you think that maybe Aelswith is gonna try to protect him to put him on the throne?
What could happen is, now it looks like she's protecting him. If he becomes, aware of his baggage, of his lineage and stuff, and eventually the kingdom goes to shit and we need a king, he could rise. He could claim.
You have a spare?
Yeah, but he could claim it.
Yeah.
Find supporters and stuff, especially if you've got people that know about him in the kingdom that truly know.
Technically, he is the first.
He's the firstborn, legitimate.
The true firstborn, yeah.
And there's a bunch of people that know about it too, so they could speak in his favor if it comes to that. But we're far from that happening. So, and it's a question of, if we ever see them old, as young adults and stuff, and it comes to them getting the crown, what if the other kid, like the one that's being literally raised by his grandfather, turns out to be a shit like Aethelwulf? What if he's not a good king?
Yeah, like you said, maybe Athelstan can maybe rise man and take back what's his right. Yeah,
I'm not we saw that kid. He's a little boy. He's playing around and stuff, and we're talking about how he becomes a shithead and we need to dispose of him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be a way that Athelstan becomes
in the future, maybe.
Yeah, but that's not for now, and I'm not even sure that's for the show. So that's for the future. And in the meantime, we've got to focus on our guys who are about to die.
Ew.
They could be taken prisoner.
So Bebbanburg is not there. It's not for us right now.
Well, no, unless something truly miraculous happens. I don't know. I don't think we can win this. So yeah, we'll see if we can manage to leave, or if they take us prisoner, or if they do win, great. But I don't think that's what happens. And that's pretty much. There's been a bunch of killings on the Viking side too.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I kept thinking about Brida because I've known that she had a wild side since season 1, and she had a huge attitude too with people in general.
Yeah.
But seeing her with Knut right now, she's
not that different from when she was with Ragnar. No.
A little bit more.
No, she raised concern over the fact that their people were slaughtered and they weren't there to protect them. She's not that different.
No, not about her people, just the people in general. The one that...
No, we've seen her raid with Ragnar. That's what happens in a raid. It's just that whenever it's an enemy, someone that we're not supposed to root for, they show us
enjoying the massacre and the cruelty back then?
It's not that she was enjoying it. They are raiding. They're moving forward. They're attacking a settlement of their enemy. That's what happens. Yes, it's not fun to see, but we've seen it before. We've seen Ragnar do that. Hell, fucking Uhtred has attacked villages before. Like, it's not something I like. It's not something I support, but it's part of the fight. It's just that whenever it's someone, like, if it's the hero, if we follow the hero, he's not gonna kill women.
I've seen Ragnar and Uhtred killing people. I understand that. But I don't think they tortured people when they were doing so.
she wasn't torturing anyone, but she cannot just go around and police the Vikings. That's their way. That's what they do. Yeah, it's not fun, but like I said,
I know it's not
like
fun.
I said, like we saw Vikings torture women and stuff in season 1. Her and Uhtred were walking in the camp, seeing this. They didn't, raise concern. They didn't say like, oh shit, we should help them. Hell, she fucking literally she tortured a seer in the first season.
She put a stick up his butt.
Still, like when they did that, they were seeing people being killed, and they saw a priest being, tortured, or it was an Elderman, I don't remember. They saw him being tortured. Didn't bat an eye or anything. That's the thing they do. It's just that when it's an enemy or someone we're not supposed to root for that does it, there's a lot more women being killed. Because we need to see the cruelty. But she's not necessarily different.
The adults are bad, yeah.
Yeah, but she's not necessarily different because she's in with them. She's always been a bitch. A bitch. She's embracing that side of her.
Yeah.
It's just, if you don't agree, I don't agree either. It's just, I don't think she changed.
She's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And Knut doesn't know about it?
Not yet. She doesn't want him to, leave her out of the fight, probably. If it happens like it did with Lagertha and she loses it, it's on her, unfortunately.
Because we've known that she wanted to have a child, right?
Well, yeah.
But we couldn't.
That's the only thing. Like, I'm happy for her that she's pregnant, and if the baby is born, that's going to be great. It's just sad that it's from him. Because of all the people, like him, the one that literally set the scene for Ragnar's death. And, like, if she learns about that, she's going to kill him.
Yeah.
So... Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. But that's it for episode 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to watch episode 3 right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, the next one will be on YouTube next week, guys. So keep an eye on it. I'm going to see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.